Another episode of 89 with Steve Smith Sr. and James Palmer. Steve, this one is the young pups. You can see the potential. I know you like these players. You can see the potential. They're well on their way, possibly, to being in the big dog category. Let's go through some of these young pups because these are going to be exciting. These are guys that we're looking and expecting. Is that the right way, Steve? Expecting them to take a jump?
If I'm saying you're a young pup, that means you still got something to you. That means I'm expecting and I'm looking for you to step it up because I know it's in you. I see it. It's chopping at the bit. It's right? But you just get too distracted with the kibbles and bits.
These young pups, I'm excited. All right, because this is a category now where, all right, go ahead.
My young pup, just to start things off, controversy goes, get in the comments, complain. Tell me how much of an idiot I am, but think about it. I may be an idiot when you're listening to it, but I notice I'm not an idiot after the season's over and you start to really see. So my first young pup is Nico Collins.
Oh.
And why? Availability. He's been hurt a little bit. They also have drafted some guys that they're really excited about. And I was down there, Carolina Panthers were playing Houston, and one of the things that someone said that threw me off was, man, I really love the competition in the wide receivers room.
Oh.
I said, what? Huh? He can't be talking about Tank Dell because Tank is still injured.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Kirk is on a 1-year deal. He's on that to prove it. Mm-hmm. So, who are we talking about? He balled out last year.
He did. Played 12 games, though.
Thank you. And what kind of season is this? Is it?
Yeah, 17. There's an argument to be made, and I don't think you disagree with this. There is somebody that could go out there and skew the numbers and make the argument and look at stats and say this is a big dog.
Yes.
They're a different offense with him on the field than off the field. CJ Stroud's a different quarterback with him on the field than off the field. That's not really debatable.
Nope.
He was, fourth in the NFL in yards per game.
Yep.
It was given to me by a DB coach that went against him last year really specifically well. It was the first words out of his mouth, Steve, were, ooh, this is a tough one. Because I said, is he a big dog? He goes, ooh, this is a tough one. I think he's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can win on one-on-one outside regularly. Is that true?
Yes, he does.
He says, I think he can win one-on-one outside regularly.
He does.
He goes, but I just can't put him in my top group. I can't. And he goes, you know why?
Why?
Because that week, I did not lose sleep over having to face Nico Collins on Sunday. He said he could be in that group and he can get to that group, but he just doesn't make me feel the way those other guys in that group make me feel. He's still really good. He's a really good player. He's right there.
He's the number one option for him. His combined speed, size, his route running, it's unbelievable. And the guy I would say
the trajectory to be
maybe A.J. Brown, if he could put it all together the same way, where he has the physical stature, but he also, his game aligns with it as well.
Yeah. Actually, I'll also say this as we kind of look at these guys through a different lens through the whole thing. This has been a really impressive ascension that he's already had.
Yes.
This isn't the way people thought about him when he got drafted.
No.
And he has worked his tail off to get to kind of where he's at now.
Here's the thing. With running routes against single coverage and beating it 95% of the time, only number 2 behind A.J. Brown.
Okay. I have a feeling we'll be talking about A.J. Brown in the other show.
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, really good, really good player. I think another year, and if this offense takes a step, like as a whole, I think it'll be a big part of that will be Nico. But you're right, that competition's kind of cool, Steve, because somebody might be saying to you, keep an eye on Jaden.
They didn't say, that's all they said. They said, man.
I know.
I'm
trying to decipher it, though.
I said, competition. And it was pretty, and then I was at practice and I was like, oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
The little jitterbug, no. Oh, Higgins.
Yeah.
Oh, Hutchinson. Yeah. Oh, like
Hutchinson's surprising some people, I was told.
Yes. And you know who else is Christian Kirk is surprising people as well. But again, he made himself expendable a little bit in Jacksonville because of injuries. Yeah.
Because that offense did run through him, but he couldn't stay on the field.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Who else we got? This is exciting. I like this category. This is a debatable category. Young pups.
Lad McConkey.
I might want to talk about Lad a little bit.
So he for me, a little. Love the kid already. You know how I feel about him. If you don't know, we got an episode about him.
Oh, his rookie report card is an episode.
Oh,
that's a really good episode.
But he's a young pup because of this. He's still trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out, the Los Angeles Chargers are trying to figure out who's the other wide receiver. Is this the year that they move on from Quentin Johnston? Or do they give him another chance?
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they didn't get somebody to go running with him.
Yes, but who they don't have to concern themselves with is Lad. And Lad is going to get his passes.
He is. I remember, I think I told you this, Steve. I was on the field pregame for a game this past year, and I'm talking to a defensive coordinator, and he's like, I know Malik Nabers is having a year. I know Brian Thomas is having a year. But to me, the best rookie pass catchers, it went Brock Bowers and then Lad McConkey in just the most difficult to defend.
Yeah.
That was his top two. It went Brock, which tight ends are not on our list. He might already be the best tight end in football. And then Lad McConkey. And so talking to guys about Lad, one guy said he literally was their passing offense.
He was.
As a rookie, he was their passing offense, which is a lot on a kid's shoulders in his first year.
First round picks are first round picks. But man, it's what you do in between the first and the fifth that really makes your team, and how you can really budget, take care of the people you need to take care of, but allow the people that you say, hey, we'll give a chance to all of a sudden realize, man, this dude is a star. And it's because we got him in the building and we got him in the right situation.
Yeah, I think Lad is going like this. I think it's really going like this. And so the last note I'll make on him was, and I thought this was interesting, another guy goes, Lad is a problem. He's a real problem. And I would say the way he can carve you up in the slot, and I'm curious what you say about this. There's some similarities in how you could look at Lad and Amon-Ra St. Brown because of the versatility, because of how versatile they both are. And you can play inside and outside. And he said, Lad, and I want your take on this, I think Lad is better on the outside than people give him credit.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cosign. Put my name on.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy could be a big dog halfway through the year. I don't know. He could be, big dog by the end of the season. We'll see. But I think this is the right spot for him. I really do. Outstanding rookie year that maybe some people in the know in the league knew. Some people were surprised by it. I think we know who knew. To finish Lad out, Steve, what does he have to do in year 2 to be a big dog? Because he's almost like I think he's like around the corner looking at like sometimes at like doggy daycare or whatever. Like they separate him by size.
Yep.
And he's like, hey guys, I'm almost in the other side of things now.
Well, with John Harbaugh, he loves to run the football. Jim loves to run the football as well.
True.
And the best way to make Justin Herbert effective is to limit how much he is throwing the football, to be physical. And the result is, so when they do take their opportunities to pass the ball, it's shot plays. It isn't a wasted throw. It is a well-calculated throw. Mm-hmm. Now, what can help him is who will emerge as a solid number 2 on that roster that also threatens the defense, because those guys will actually catch the football and get up the field.
Okay. I get that. Last one real quick, because this jumped into my head. I remember somebody during the season telling me, I love Lad. I just hope he can stay healthy and maybe put some weight on for year 2. Is that
Well, he's
an accurate
gonna
assessment.
He will naturally. You're gonna put weight on after your rookie year because you have a full off season. You're no longer taking trips on job interviews. You have the job, so now he's in the weight room. He's with the nutritionist. He knows how and what his body needs. So
exactly. You got the experience too, right? Like you know what you need to get through a year.
Because you're no longer studying and then doing football. You're doing football all day.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm excited to see what year 2 is for that. All right, but give me a juicy one then. Give me a juicy young pup.
Chris Olave.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I have Chris Olave as a young pup, I'm still waiting to see how the concussions impact him. And I'm hearing there has not been a defined separation in the quarterback play at the New Orleans Saints.
There hasn't.
And that's going to have a huge impact. And then they have Rashid. He's bananas good. He's crazy good.
Okay.
So he got to get his passes. But then you also got Alvin Kamara, where you got to run the football because you got question marks at the running game. Well, all of that ends with that's going to impact Chris Olave's production, his opportunities, and he also, let's be honest too, man. All of us are kind of just like with Tua, man. We're kind of holding our breath every time a big hit comes.
Yep, that's a good point.
Look, one of the things that you don't want to deal with is you are more susceptible to having a concussion, and you're playing with some questionable quarterbacks.
That's a good point.
Think about that.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Like, is this quarterback going to protect me?
I understand. I mean, you hate to see it because he can make plays and he can make big plays.
Huge plays.
Yeah, he really can. What I was told was, not a one-trick pony. Actually, some people think he's just a down-the-field speed guy. Steve, I want you to kind of correct that a little bit. Like, because I was told, like, no, he definitely has more in his bag than people give him.
He has a lot in his bag. He can get in and out of breaks. He's downfield threat. He can create free access, but he does a good job of fighting through the contact. He did it early on when he was drafted, when it had stability at the quarterback position. But as they got unstable, his game suffered in a big way. And so when the quarterback play is up and down, you start to run your routes based on the quarterback and the offense that I'm playing. Not against the defender. You're going, hey, I got a 12-yard route, but I know my quarterback is not going to read it right. And now you speed up the clock, and now you're running the route towards the deficiency you have at quarterback, not how it's drawn up, and it'll be perfect if you run it this way.
I got you. I get what you're saying. I think this is a perfect description of him that was given to me by one coach was, he's going to give you 1,000 yards, right? He's like, he's going to give you 1,000. But I don't think they're difference maker yards. In gotta have it moments, I'm not fearing him yet. I think he can get schemed open really well. I think he still can get himself open. I'm curious what good angle flexion is. What does that mean? I was given that term by saying he knows angles really well on a field, I guess. I don't know.
Well, because he's a speed guy, he doesn't just try to outrun. He's a guy that when he gets in open space, he's able to calculate how I'm going to attack this defender versus just relying on athleticism.
Yeah. So I do think this is accurate, right? Of like a young pup. Like, it's like, hey, man, you're going to put up yards. I need you to do it in the biggest moments. That's what the big dogs do in the gotta have it moments. He's not super feared yet. But the one thing that I would say, and this ties into probably, I don't know if it ties into the concussions or not, but I had another coach tell me, like, he's not scared of much on the field. Like, he'll get in there and he'll mix it up, crossing routes, all sorts of stuff. Like, he's not scared to go anywhere on the field, which has been a shame with the concussions the way they've gone. Okay. Got another young pup for us?
Yeah. DeVonta Smith, the Slim Reaper.
The Slim Reaper. Now, I was told, it's kind of funny that we're on Chris Olave because somebody did say he's not DeVonta Smith, though. That's what they said about Olave. They think Smitty is better than Olave.
I know Smitty is better and a big dog, but he doesn't really get he doesn't get a lot of targets as a big dog. And he's really good. He plays his role. But if he was on another team, he'd be the number one wide receiver, right? His numbers would be significantly more. He'll have more targets. But that's just not how he goes about his business. He's quiet. Yeah. He's country. He's content with where he is. And if the word is he's happy, right? He's not
just plays ball.
Sometimes a number 2 is inching his way to prove that he's the number 1. And
so you think Smitty's better to stay where he's at?
Yes, because the people who are going to be willing to pay him, you got to make sure that you have the same infrastructure. Don't just go out there and take the bag, and then you get out there and get exposed in some of your game, and it's more of the type of offense you're in. Great example. Gabriel Davis.
Looking for a job right now.
Looking for a job because it was, they're holding me back here.
In Buffalo?
They're holding me back. I'm going to show you. Gets paid, goes to Jacksonville. Can he play? Yes. But he's not a big dog yet. Okay. And he got set up. You know what they say. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it.
I did have some guys tell me they think Smitty's a big dog. Like this was a borderline.
He's a big dog.
Okay, yeah, he's
a big dog. But on this team,
you only have so many alphas. Like, because I was told like they complement each other so well.
Yes.
Within the offense, but the reasoning, some guys said that they think he's a big dog, is one, nobody plays like he does physicality wise under 170 pounds, which I think he might be. Yeah, he carries himself well. Body control's outstanding. Super smooth. Lot of balance in his body, no matter where the ball is in his catch radius, right? Like no matter where it's at, he's still in full control, it seems like. He can win inside and outside, right, Steve?
Yeah.
He can win inside and outside. We're talking about circumstance a lot with these guys, and it's just the nature of the circumstance. You're on a team that has Saquon Barkley having a historic year a year ago. You have A.J. Brown that deserves targets. You have Dallas Goedert that deserves targets.
Who doesn't
get enough targets at all.
Yeah, Smitty, who doesn't get enough targets either.
Yeah, so like I understand the situation and how that could keep him out of being a big dog, but I do want to say, and I think we had this conversation, on a phone call a couple days ago. He is respected around the league.
Oh, bro.
Like big time.
It's huge. And how he goes about his business. They're like, hey, he doesn't get a lot of credit, but I'm telling you, he's an invaluable piece of that offense. That when you lose him, he's felt.
I'm going to say it this way, Steve, before we move on. Do you have to have like this big, boisterous personality, persona, presence to be a big dog? Or can somebody that carries themselves the way Smitty does be in the big dog category? Let your play speak for itself, right? Like that type of thing.
That happens within the football world. Publicly, that doesn't happen because publicly, some people only know from the highlights or the mic'd up, the mic'd up stuff, right? Like the mic'd up stuff is how people really create their opinion about that individual because they haven't met him. They haven't actually spoken to him, broke bread, even shook his hand. They just have watched his play. And that same thing, people have categorized other people based on that, like T.O. People swear they know T.O. No, you don't.
Really?
Just because you watch him on a football field doesn't mean that he's like that every single waking moment of his life.
Good point.
So I think that's one of the reasons why he doesn't get the big dog attention like A.J. Brown does. But within the football community, defensive coordinators, cornerback coaches, hey, we're going to get some Slim Reaper there. Your eyes have to be in the right place. You got to look at your keys, look at your technique, and you also got to be ready. He will come down and block you as well. So his game all overall is big dog. But statistically, he just doesn't get as much credit that he deserves. But you guys also remember, he's also Heisman Trophy winner.
National champion and Super Bowl.
And now a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. And you also don't get the nickname Slim Reaper for doing nothing. Like, I think he is, and I've covered that locker room a bunch, right? I've had conversations with him in the locker room. He is obviously on the quieter side.
Yep.
But when he's playing, he's as confident as they come.
Oh, he ain't quiet.
He carries himself.
He got his old country self got a little potty mouth.
All right, who we got next?
This little hot take.
Oh, okay.
Malik Nabers, young pup.
This is one.
Yes.
That I was curious where you were going to put him.
Yes.
This is one where I was curious where you were going to put him. Okay.
Here's why. We all know Malik Nabers is Malik Nabers. He can ball. Ain't no question about it.
Yep.
But who's going to be the quarterback? If it is
Moonball Russ. It's Moonball Russ to start the season.
That means his route tree is going to get limited. That will impact him, especially in this offense.
You know Jaxson Dart's playing at some point, Steve.
Okay, yes.
Season, right? Yeah.
And so I put him in the young pup category because I'm not sure how long it's going to take for the New York Giants to figure out who their permanent quarterback is, who is in the rotation, or we're going to try this week.
I think it's going to go from Russ and quicker than we think to Jaxson Dart, and that's the season.
How quick?
I think it depends on how quickly Joe Shane and Brian Dable think their jobs might be on the line. Because that's the guy they picked. That's the guy they brought in, right? Like, obviously they brought in Russ, but that was limited options. Their guy, the first time they've ever dug in and did work was Dart. And by the way, his preseason has been outstanding.
His preseason has been remarkable.
It's been really good, and he's been doing it without Malik Nabers on the field during preseason. And so I was curious where you put him, because also, and I had this conversation last night, he is a one. He was thrust into being a one because of the team.
Yes.
And because of where they were, right? And so that played a part. Now, and this isn't just a lot of people around the league think the Giants are going to be better this year than they were a year ago. By the way, that front seven is filthy. Defense is good.
Yeah, it is.
I was told this. This is a good quote, too. I wrote this one down. He's not a big dog yet, but he might be dressing as a big dog by the time Halloween rolls around. Like, that's how quickly some people think this is already going to happen. Like, he's that close to becoming that group. He's right there.
I think he would be in that group if they had a more defined quarterback of the future, and this is the guy we're rolling with.
You think that he'd already be in there before the season starts? If you knew that. And maybe if they had more consistent play from his rookie year.
Well, here's the other thing. Being around some of the teams that Russell Wilson has been in, talking to some of those teams this offseason, and I just said, hey, what's the deal with Russ? What has Russ lost that they said, man, he could throw the deep ball, but what Russ has really lost is the intermediate game is just not there anymore. The arm strength doesn't have the ability, and he doesn't sit still and doesn't see it quick enough going across the middle. So that's why he's always off schedule, which why that moon ball comes in. But they said a 3-step drop, plant your foot, throw a quick out, or a 8-yard out. They said, man, it may skip there. It's not consistent. It may skip there. They said they just couldn't do it. Had to certain plays in the boundary, not out in the field, because they had to hide some of the deficiencies of the lack of arm talent in the intermediate area that Russell has, and that has to do with ball placement, right? Okay. The moon ball is you chuck it. but the ball placement, right? And if it's, I don't play baseball enough, but we all know the fastball, but it's the sliders, the sinkers, the curveball, the ball placement that really can get you in and out of a jam.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that anymore.
Well, ball placement also hurts the receiver in terms of yards after the catch, in terms of making something happen with it, and that's something Nabers can do for sure. I'm excited to see what he can do in year 2. All right, what else we got? We got another young pup? We got another one?
I do have a young pup. Let me go ahead and go with his running mate from LSU as well. Brian Thomas Jr. Big. Do I think he's going to be a big dog? Yes.
Yes, he is.
I am afraid of this Travis Hunter experiment. How would that impact his workload? Where is he going to line up?
Oh, where's he going to? Okay. I was going to say, there's nobody down there that argues he's not the one.
No,
and he's
I'm
not
not
the focal
arguing
point.
that.
Yeah.
I'm arguing that Travis
saying.
Hunter is going to take his volume, his targets, because they want to get their hands. You got to remember, Liam Cohen fed Chris Godwin. He fed Mike Evans, fed those guys. But in this offense, when that's going to happen, they don't have the same rapport. So we're just going to look at Brian Thomas as this is what he had last year, and this is what he doesn't have. And we jump to a conclusion and don't always look at the circumstances.
Interesting. So let me get this straight, though, because also what you're trying to do with Travis Hunter is so rare. We've never seen it before. Are you saying that there might be instances where it's like, well, we can only put Travis here in this because he only knows this much as opposed to this much of the offense, because obviously he's doing two things at once, and then that takes a target or a situation where you could have Brian Thomas, but because of the lack of flexibility that you have with a guy who's playing both sides, impacts a little bit of what Brian does offensively. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying lack of flexibility or knowledge. It has to do with putting a young kid, setting them up for success, and having packages for them.
That's what I'm saying. That limits a little bit. It's because it's not a true number 2.
There are going to be times where that last year was Brian Thomas.
I get what you're saying.
And this year, it's still Brian Thomas. And, by the way, it's Travis Hunter.
I get what you're saying.
And, by the way, is Cole Strange, that tight end, who's really showing they really love what they're seeing out of him.
Okay.
Right? And we never seen this out of Jacksonville. How about running the football on a consistent basis? Right?
Come on now.
Without your quarterback being the running back. So I think that's gonna take away from his targets and a little bit as a volume.
Yeah, I get that. And I think there's another part that plays into it, and it's why Liam Cohen got the job. Well, I mentioned I talked to Mike Sando at The Athletic, since I'm working over there now too, Steve, and we talked about his quarterback tiers. He said of the 50 people that he puts together for that, and that's GMs, that's assistant GMs, that's head coaches, that's OCs and DCs, the most frustrating player that they discuss at the quarterback position, hands down, is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's all there. Can it all get put together to go take that jump and be the next player he can be? If Liam Cohen does that, you know Brian Thomas is going to benefit from it.
Yes.
Benefit greatly. Real quick, I wanted to mention kind of what somebody kind of told me about Brian Thomas. I thought it was kind of interesting. He was like, he's a bigger guy, but he operates in small space and tight spaces really, really well for a bigger guy. He's like, he's long, but then when you stand next to him on the field, like, he actually appears bigger than he actually measures, which is weird. He's like, he's kind of like an AAU basketball player and kind of how he's built, but he's like, he still has gas, like a lot of gas.
A lot of gas.
He can stretch, but he said he can sit down on you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, real quick. So I think he's right there with Nabers. I was told that by another coach. Like, they're both right there about getting to be big dogs, and I think they're both right there, nipping on the heels of the big dogs, coming into that group. Okay.
All right, Jaxon Smith-Njigba.
Oh, that's a good one. I
think
that's accurate.
He's becoming a young pup. They drafted him in Seattle. He was under Pete. Now with Mike McDonald, they've established what kind of offense they're going to have, how they want to do things. They trade away DK Metcalf. They go ahead and let go Tyler Lockett. So now it's a changing of the regime. Why are they changing it? Because Jaxon Smith-Njigba has gave you the confidence that he can handle being the number one wide receiver. Mm-hmm. And that's why I have him as my big dog, as my young pup, because he's becoming and shall become the big dog. But this is the first year he's been the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
In the National Football League. He's been a focal point of an offense in college, but not in the National Football League. And that's a big difference. And I'm waiting to see it.
Okay. I remember we did his pro day together. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were in Columbus together.
Yeah, we were.
And I remember you talking about, and this is why I wanted to ask you, I remember you talking about like how he's just kind of built differently than some other guys, the way he's built. Can that translate? Because we know how good he is in the middle of the field, how good he is out of the slot. I did that game against the Rams up in Seattle last year where he just went bananas. Mm-hmm. Can he can line up outside, win consistently at the boundary? He can do that?
He doesn't have to line up outside.
Okay.
Because they also got this kid, Jake Bobo, who just keeps making plays after plays. And I don't know how Jake is doing.
So glad we're back.
Bro, Jake is balling outside.
and Jake Bobo,
but Jake can't play in the slot and be the same impact player. Mm-hmm. So Jaxon was going to line up. Jaxon is your F. He's going to line up in multiple positions all over the field. You won't be able to get a peg on where he is. Naturally, here's what I think about Jaxon and Njigba.
It's a JSN. It's easiest.
Yeah, JSN.
There we go.
Alra St. Brown.
Okay.
Right?
Like that's what you want him to get to?
I think that's where he's
headed.
He's headed.
Okay.
Where you are thinking one thing and then you go back and watch it, you go, man, I was completely wrong.
Okay. I like that. I had somebody tell me a DB, I don't think he's as good as Garrett Wilson. Is that fair? Not fair?
They're two different players.
Very much so.
And if you're comparing them, he's not faster than Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett. Yeah.
He's probably faster than Jason Garrett.
Slightly, maybe. It might be a photo finish.
Slightly, maybe.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. They do play the position very differently.
Thank you. Garrett Wilson uses his speed, and JSN uses maneuvering to get
spatial
open.
Awareness.
Spatial awareness. But his little bow-legged self can get going too, though.
You got Bobo. You got bow-legged self.
He might be pigeon-toed or something, but he kind of runs. He kind of runs a little funny.
But it works. It's like an advantage almost.
Exactly.
It seems like how he's built and how he moves. Okay. I like this young pup category, Steve.
I like this young pup too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Zay Flowers. Young pup.
And that was a really interesting conversation the other day.
Young pup because they running the football. Hey, Lamar Jackson is unbelievable. MVP is balling. And the reason I say he's a young pup, because the sponge that he gets to be with D-Hop there, I think that's going to change his route running. And it's going to take a little bit of time for him to implement some of the things that D-Hop is going to show him, either coaching him up, being in a room with him, or Zay just observing how D-Hop runs routes.
The little things.
The little things that he can do that can help.
I like that. I wanted to come at you with this about Zay because I mentioned I had a conversation about him the other day, and it was, we're mentioning some young pups that are right there after 1 year, right? And Brian Thomas Jr. or Malik Nabers and their Lad McConkey, they could be big dogs right away. But it doesn't happen the same for every guy.
No.
And I was talking to somebody who was like, I've just watched the growth stack with Zay as these years have gone. Like he's grown each year as a player. And I love that about him. And he can maybe have a different, not like immediate into the big dogs. His growth in the way this offense is played, because it's different than a lot of other places, and his growth with Lamar, and I remember us having a breakdown of him during the year last year. Just, Steve, you were showing me the little things that he does, even when he doesn't get the ball, that helps this offense. So, I think that's a good one. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Whew. All right, go ahead.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a young pup.
Okay.
He's a young pup for me because the things that I'm hearing out of Arizona, it's the quarterback play. How is this quarterback play? How is this offensive line going to look? How is this offense going to do? And that is all going to impact Marvin Harrison Jr. in his sophomore year. Mm-hmm. I understand he can play. I'm not saying he can't play. But there are things that have hurt him that are outside of his control. But it still affects him statistically, and it affects how he impacts the game.
Okay. Listen, I think there's a few things with Marvin. And again, I'll preface this too. I just went to their joint practice with Denver the other week. So I got a chance to watch him almost the entire practice, talk to some people in Arizona about him. There's a few things. One, I don't know if there's been higher expectations for a guy coming in. Like the expectations for him rookie year were wild. Yeah. He was, I was told, swimming rookie year, Steve. Like definitely swimming mentally a little bit, which is fine, fair, can happen for sure. I'm not sure the style of play connects between him and Kyler. He is an on-time player.
Kyler is not on time.
He's not. His the way he improvises, the second play.
Remember the old Heinz 57 commercials?
Which one?
The ones where when you open it and you pour it out, just took all day.
You got to hit on the 57. Remember, like it's an angle. Try to get
I'm
that
black, bro. We just do ketchup.
I want to say this. His rookie stats are almost identical to Larry Fitzgerald. They're almost identical to his dad's. It's not like he had a bad rookie season.
Oh, he did?
By any stretch, right? He's an absolute worker. We saw him. I remember one time, Steve, you and I were at Ohio State. He was like working before the pro day with like a robot that threw him passes.
Yeah. That was super weird.
That was super wild.
That blew my mind.
And I also want to mention this because I want your take on it. Good buddy Albert Breer over at SI had a conversation with Marvin this offseason and kind of brought up an interesting point to where sometimes bigger receivers, big body receivers, have a slower burn coming out of the gate than, say, some guys that have that rocket speed in their back pocket to help them out. And you learn how to be a physical receiver in the league because it's different than being a physical receiver in college and these different things. And there's a lot of examples of kind of bigger bodied receivers that might not be burners. Obviously, they're very impactful and very, very good, say a Julio Jones and things like that. But it takes a minute to get going in the league. Is that a fair assessment? Because Marvin, when he talked to him about it, kind of agreed that I got to figure some things out at the receiver spot and how I play it.
Well, if you said it by his own admission that he's had to figure some things out, I would say yes. Yeah. But, since I've been told that I'm height biased, I don't know because I've never had to deal with that, being a short midget guy that's so jealous of everybody. So I'm not sure.
It was a wrong question to ask.
Never been that tall. Don't know what is. Never experienced it.
It'd have been weirder if you had been that tall. And now you're not. That would have been something. I think you're right though. This is a young pup. This is a guy that I think still people have a lot of expectations for.
Oh yeah.
That can
but those expectations will change when they start to see that part of some things that are going on are out of his control, and it has to do with the guy that's touching the football every single play.
I'll say this: in the joint practice, he was open a lot. He got
I also heard in that joint practice times. Trey McBride was open a lot.
There was a play. I just got to say this before we go. There was a play. Trey McBride was so wide open. He's running down the field, and the ball's in the air, and he goes and catches it, and then catches the ball. Like he put his arms out, going, "Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Okay," and catches the ball and goes. I mean, he was running. He's a good player. All right, you got one more young pup for us, Steve.
This is gonna cause some real problems.
Precursor. Disclaimer at the bottom of the
Jaylen Waddle,
the screen here.
Miami Dolphins. Young, he's a young pup. Just got that contract. We all know offensively with Tua, when Tua's in the game, it's a different type. Mm-hmm. Tua's a left-handed quarterback. They use a lot of movement with Tyreek Hill. Coach McDaniels has done a really good job of adapting his offense to his left-handed quarterback, which makes the rotation of the linebackers with the, so now you got the RPO and left side. So now you have to automatically retrain the defenders to you open up in a different way. But Waddle plays X. He's stationary stand. He doesn't move around a lot. So if he's not moving around a lot and he's on the left side, a lot of the times if you go back in games, when you see Tyreek Hill's on the left, motions to the far right, routes his guys up, come back, and Coach McDaniels is done. You're not supposed to do that. Open up left and throw right.
A little different.
It's a little different. For Jaylen Waddle to become a big dog, he's going to have to move to Z. He's going to have to move to Z because he's going to have movement. Right? If, let's just say hypothetically, Tyreek Hill is no longer there. They play in the AFC East. Okay. Who's a good DB in the AFC East that they play twice a year? Gonzo.
Gonzo. Okay.
Gonzo is a very physical corner.
True.
You got to give Waddle some opportunity to get free access, because if you got one of the top young, fresh corners out there following, or if you go to Denver and you're playing Patrick, you better have some movement. Because if you make it easy for Patrick Surtain to just say, okay, I don't have to worry about any releases. All I get to do is watch you line up. Are you +2, +4, inside the numbers? And all of a sudden, he's like, okay, I'll just get the lineup and see, and route recognition. So that's why I'm saying I need him to move to Z before he could become a big dog, because this offense is not going to allow him to be a big dog at X. Movement with Coach McDaniel's offense is paramount. He's the top guy with pre-snap movement. And your big dog doesn't move in today's football, you ain't a big dog. You're a young pup.
I like that one. That's a good one to close on, Steve. That's a good one to close on. We went through a lot. We went through a lot. And I love it.
Bro.
It's really good to be back. It's really good to be back. We are back. And listen, our last 2 tiers, new episode. Big dogs. Well, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I was just,
I kind of looked.
Kind of scared myself.
Oh, that's when you know you're Rudy Poop. You scare yourself.
We got the big dogs coming up and King of the Jungle. Who's at the top? Well, that's the next episode. 89's back.